Three Gorges Dam is the largest hydropower project ever built. When construction began in 1994, it was designed not only to generate electricity to propel China's breakneck economic growth, but also to tame China's longest river, shield millions of people from fatal floods, and, as a symbol of technological prowess, become a searing point of national pride. Today we will tell you everything about Three Gorges Dam, the world's most expensive and powerful. 3. China's Three Gorges Dam is one of the largest ever created. For a start, the whole project cost 200 billion yuan, $28.6 billion, took nearly 2 decades to build, and required uprooting more than 1 million people along the Yangtze River. And while the government promised the dam would be able to protect communities around its immediate downstream against a once-in-a-century flood, its efficacy has frequently been questioned. Those doubts recently resurfaced as the Yangtze Basin saw its heaviest average rainfall in nearly 60 years in June, causing the river and its many tributaries to overflow. More than 158 people have died or gone missing, 3.67 million residents have been displaced, and 54.8 million people have been affected, causing a devastating 144 billion yuan, $20.5 billion in economic losses. Despite the havoc, Chinese authorities claim the Three Gorges Dam has succeeded in playing a crucial role in intercepting floodwaters. The dam's operator, China Three Gorges Corporation, told China's state news agency Xinhua that the dam has intercepted 18.2 billion cubic meters of potential floodwater. A Water Resources Ministry official told state-run newspaper China Youth Daily that the dam effectively reduced the speed and extent of water level rises on the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze. But with multiple gauging stations monitoring river flows in the Yangtze Basin seeing record-high water levels this summer, some geologists say the limited role of the Three Gorges Dam in flood control has been laid bare. The Three Gorges Dam is an awe-inspiring structure. Firstly, it is one of the few man-made structures on Earth that is visible to the naked eye from space, according to NASA. Completed in 2006, the body of the dam is immense. It is 181 meters, 607 feet tall, and spans 2,335 meters, 1.45 miles across the Yangtze, just before the deep, narrow valley gives way to plains. Then there's its accompanying hydropower plant, which was completed in 2012 and has a generating capacity of 22,500 megawatts, or more than 3 times the capacity of the Grand Coulee Dam, the largest in the United States. But according to the Chinese government's 1992 proposal, the top reason for building the dam wasn't power generation, but to prevent flooding. Here's how it works. The enormous dam is situated on an upstream section of the Yangtze and helps prevent flooding downstream by trapping rainwater in a huge reservoir, and then controlling the release of that water through its sluice gates. The 660-kilometer, 410-mile reservoir winds upstream through the narrow valleys of the Three Gorges, a series of steep canyons known for their imposing beauty and once treacherous currents, to Chongqing, a sprawling municipality of 30.5 million people in western China. 2. Physical description and capacity of the Three Gorges Dam. A straight-crested concrete gravity structure, the Three Gorges Dam is 2,335 meters, 7,660 feet long, with a maximum height of 185 meters, 607 feet. It incorporates 28 million cubic meters, 37 million cubic yards of concrete, and 463,000 metric tons of steel into its design. Submerging large areas of the Kutang, Wu, and Xiling gorges for some 600 kilometers, 375 miles upstream, the dam has created an immense deep-water reservoir allowing ocean-going freighters to navigate 2,250 kilometers, 1,400 miles inland from Shanghai on the East China Sea to the inland city of Chongqing. Navigation of the dam and reservoir is facilitated by the 5-tier ship locks at both ends of the complex, which allow vessels of up to 10,000 tons to navigate past the dam, and a ship lift, which allows vessels of up to 3,000 tons to bypass the ship locks and travel past the dam more quickly. At the time of its completion in late 2015, the lift, which was 120 meters, 394 feet long, 18 meters, 59 feet wide, and 3.5 meters, 11 feet deep, was the largest ship lift in the world. Limited hydroelectric power production began in 2003 and gradually increased as additional turbine generators came online over the years until 2012, when all of the dam's 32 turbine generator units were operating. Those units, along with 2 additional generators, gave the dam the capacity to generate 22,500 megawatts of electricity, making it the most productive hydroelectric dam in the world. In 2020, the hydroelectric plant produced 111.88 kilowatt hours, setting a new world record for annual power generation volume. The dam also was intended to protect millions of people from the periodic flooding that plagues the Yangtze Basin, although just how effective it has been in this regard has been debated. In 2020, China experienced its heaviest floods in more than 3 decades, and the dam's reservoir neared maximum capacity, reaching the highest levels since it began retaining water in 2003. Officials said that the dam reduced damage and loss of life from the floods, while critics asserted that the heavy floods served to highlight the limitations of the dam as an effective flood control tool. During the dry season, October to May, the reservoir's water level is kept at a maximum of 175 meters, 574 feet, to optimize electricity generation at the adjoining hydropower plant. Before the summer rains arrive in June, it's gradually lowered to 145 meters, 475 feet, to make room for the incoming floodwaters. The lowering of water levels creates 22 billion cubic meters of storage space, enough to contain nearly 9 million Olympic-sized swimming pools of water. But that's nothing compared with the sheer volume of floodwater that can flow into the dam during bad years, said Fan Xiao, a Chinese geologist and long-term critic of the dam. During a once-in-a-century flood, more than 244 billion cubic meters of water, or about twice the volume of the Dead Sea, can pass through the 3 gorges in 2 months. The storage capacity of the dam's reservoir can handle only about 9% of that amount. It's like using a small cup to deal with a big tub of water. In terms of flood control, the cost of the dam has surely outweighed its gain. Besides, the dam can only hold back the water for so long, as it has to make room for new rains, and in flood season, torrential downpours can come in quick succession. 1. History and controversy of the Three Gorges Dam. First discussed in the 1920s by Chinese Nationalist Party leaders, the idea for the Three Gorges Dam was given new impetus in 1953 when Chinese leader Mao Zedong ordered feasibility studies of a number of sites. Detailed planning for the project began in 1955. Its proponents insisted it would control disastrous flooding along the Yangtze, facilitate inland trade, and provide much-needed power for central China. But the dam was not without its detractors. Criticisms of the Three Gorges project began as soon as the plans were proposed and continued through its construction. Key problems included the danger of dam collapse, the displacement of some 1.3 million people. Critics insisted the figure was actually 1.9 million, living in more than 1,500 cities, towns, and villages along the river, and the destruction of magnificent scenery and countless rare architectural and archaeological sites. There were also fears, some of which were borne out, that human and industrial waste from cities would pollute the reservoir, and even that the huge amount of water impounded in the reservoir could trigger earthquakes and landslides. Some Chinese and foreign engineers argued that a number of smaller and far cheaper and less problematic dams on the Yangtze tributaries could generate as much power as a Three Gorges Dam and control flooding equally well. Construction of those dams, they maintained, would enable the government to meet its main priorities without the risks. Because of these problems, work on the Three Gorges Dam was delayed for nearly 40 years as the Chinese government struggled to reach a decision to carry through with the plans for the project. In 1992, Premier Li Peng, who had himself trained as an engineer, was finally able to persuade the National People's Congress to ratify the decision to build the dam, though almost a third of its members abstained or voted against the project, an unprecedented sign of resistance from a normally acquiescent body. President Jiang Zemin did not accompany Li to the official inauguration of the dam in 1994, and the World Bank refused to advance China funds to help with the project, citing major environmental and other concerns. Nevertheless, the Three Gorges project moved ahead. In 1993, work started on access roads and electricity to the site. Workers blocked and diverted the river in 1997, bringing to a close the first phase of construction. In 2003, the reservoir began to fill, now. The 5-tier ship locks, which allowed vessels of up to 10,000 tons to navigate past the dam, were put into preliminary operation, and the first of the dam's generators was connected to the grid, completing the second phase of construction. Construction of the main wall of the dam was completed in 2006. The remainder of the dam's generators were operational by mid-2012, and a ship lift, which allowed vessels of up to 3,000 tons to bypass the 5-tier ship locks and more quickly navigate past the dam, was completed in late 2015 and began officially operating in 2016. Do let us know if you have more information about this dam. Please subscribe to The Luxury World. Thanks for watching.